What's up, everybody? Anthony Crudele here, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. As you can see in front of you today, I'm going to talk about the flow of trading. But before I get into talking about the flow of trading, look, we're all on lockdown, and I just want to share with you a couple of things that I've been doing that have really been helping me. And one thing in particular that's helped me tremendously is just putting things on my calendar. I know I'm not going anywhere, just putting stuff on there, a workout I want to do, making a YouTube video. Of course, all my podcasting appointments to be talking with people, those are always on my calendar, but I'm doing it at random times right now, nights, weekends, just putting things on my calendar for me to do, because let's face it, at some point, we're going to be off lockdown and we need to get back into the swing of things. And in order to do that, I think it's very important to stay fresh and to stay sharp while we're at home. I mean, I could tell you, even myself, I'm a busybody. I like doing things. Found myself getting lazy a couple of times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. But because I've put things on my calendar, or I've sent myself actually emails or drafts of emails of things that I want to do and accomplish, that I have found the motivation to go and get those things done. So I think it's important, whether you're writing notes, put something on your calendar, put some things down that you actually hold yourself accountable to. And to me, that has been of tremendous help, and maybe that will help you too get off the couch. Although there's been some great TV lately. I finished the Ozarks last night. Wow, what a great episode. I binged it. I was up till 2 in the morning last night watching it. So anyway, let's get on to today's presentation. And I want to talk about the flow of trading with all of you. I think that, first of all, we focus so much on our strategies, whether it's macro or technical, because we think that's what makes us a majority of our money. And don't get me wrong, those things are so important in order for us to be successful traders. But they are not the only things that help us make money as traders. There's other things that go into it. And as I wrote here, the flow of trading, for me, this is how every trade begins and ends no matter what. So we always talk about strategy and following our strategy and our process. Well, this is my process, right? For getting prepared for the day, anticipating a trade and execution. And of course, that starts with mindset. So the flow of trading is what we're going to discuss today. And the first thing is the mindset. Now, my recent video that I did on here was trading rules versus trading instincts. And I have that PDF that I've recently done, my ebook, PDF ebook, and that is Anthony's Instincts. And that is really my mindset. Now, that's my mindset for trading. There's things I do beyond trading, and maybe I'll do some videos on those as well to prepare myself for the day. But I talk about how rules are important for your strategy, but instincts are important for your trading. So for me, mindset, when I think about my mindset for trading, instincts is what I lean on. And each and every single day, I refresh myself from these things. Be yourself. Trade according to risk. Always be a student. React with reason. Be aggressive. Know when to stop. Get out of losers and be disciplined. And now I went over these in extreme depth in that other video that you could check out. I'll put a link below here in this post, and you can go and watch that if you have not caught that video yet. But this is how every trade begins for me, well before I do what we're going to talk about next here, preparation or anything. And this is really the foundation of every trade for me. Next is preparation. Look, we're all going to prepare differently. Macro traders, technical traders, day traders, swing traders. We're all going to prepare a little bit differently. But I'm going to share with you just really these few things on here that I think are extremely important to my process. Before I even do a trade, macro theme is what I have on the top. I do a lot of macro homework. I don't want to say a lot to where I'm reading 50 articles a day. I think that's just way extreme. I see people on Twitter that are putting stuff out every single day, all these articles. Look at it, we get it. There's a lot of bad news right now. I just need a theme. So I listen to a few podcasts, read a few things, and I get an idea in my mind of what the macro theme is. And that's all I need. I think we're all smart enough to know what's going on now and in other times. We don't need to overwhelm ourselves with this stuff. So if you're a day trader, the reason why I believe a macro theme is important to know and understand, and it's simply because you understand. Just look at Thursday, for example. The Fed comes out. We know that the Fed is intervening here. The Fed has been involved in markets now for a long time and probably for a long time to come. So it's important to know what it is that's happening. And one of the other things I wrote on here was impact on my market. Look, there's a lot of macro themes that I read that don't really impact our markets. Maybe not now, maybe not ever, and maybe at some point they do, but I'm aware of them. It's just awareness to me. I call it market awareness. How is the macro theme impacting my market? Well, if you see what's happening with the Fed on Thursday, then that's something to keep in mind. That's just not something we should be ignoring. And I looked at my charts, and next thing I'm going to talk about up here is long-term charts and short-term charts. And the Fed intervened. We have long-term charts where I looked at them and said, you know what? At the beginning of the week, I saw how we held support on my daily S&P chart. I saw resistance way up there, and I was looking at it going, it's maybe that gets it in a couple of weeks. I didn't think it was going to be in 4 days, but what it was important by looking at the long-term charts was that we had held a key support. And now I see a macro theme impacting my markets. I am not going to be aggressively being short. It's just one of those things where it's just common sense. So intraday on Thursday, I was looking for more areas to be long. Easier said than done. Still hit a loser on Thursday. I thought it was a difficult trading day. Well, actually, I was caught a little bit before the market had even opened. I was in a couple of trades that didn't work out for me. But ultimately, the point I want to make here is that long-term charts set the tone, just like the macro theme. And if they're working together, then the short-term charts, you want to be more aligned with what's happening with those other two things, because those are bigger picture things that are going to have a much bigger impact on your market. Because let's face it, long-term charts are going to supersede short-term charts. I know you might say I'm just scalping or looking for a few ticks here and there, or for a few handles or points, whatever. That's true, but you got to know what side to really err on the side of caution. Like for me, after what I saw on Thursday, I am not in a hurry to be short. So I'm going to sell at and above areas. I'm not going to be if I'm looking to get short, I'm not going to sell at the first test of resistance, because who knows what could happen. They could blow right through it. I've got longer term support holding, longer term resistance way up there, so they could keep going. My short-term chart, that might be a good scalp that works, but I'm going to wait to see the reaction. I'm not going to be in a hurry. And the flip side goes, on a buy side, I'd probably step in a little bit sooner, or right when it hits support. Maybe small because there's so much volatility, but that area I'm going to get in a little bit quicker. And then if it holds, I might add a little quicker and get more aggressive. So the other things on here I think are just self-explanatory. You know, data points, headlines, what's driving the market drivers. Thursday was a perfect example where all of these things came into play. And the last thing on the list is environment. What kind of a strategy are you trading? So I trade both sides of the market pretty much every day, especially in this volatility, because we're hitting so many different price points. Now, in slower markets, I'm probably only trading one side. Sometimes I'll trade both sides. It depends, once again, on how many prices we hit throughout the day. But I like a market that trades both ways. So when I see a market that is exploding through my short-term charts, I just see there's no reactions, even where I'm looking for little reactions on my shorter-term charts, then I start to say to myself, there's stuff going on with the Fed. There's all of these different things happening. And you say to yourself, this environment doesn't suit my type of trading. So I took a couple of losses. I even tweeted about this on Thursday early. And I said, you know what? This environment doesn't suit me. It doesn't suit my strategy, because even on other busier days in the past week, in the past several weeks, there's been a lot going on, and I've seen days where the reactions were really good. So sometimes I just like to watch for a little bit. I might miss a couple of winners. I might miss a couple of losers too, but I like to see things working. I like to see my strategy working well in the environment on that particular day before I step in, because it's just important to me. Know yourself, know your strategy, know your environment. I don't think you take every single trade setup. I think these other things I talk about here with preparation are extremely important. Next, I want to talk about anticipation. I don't think we talk about this enough. I don't think we talk about a lot of things enough, but look we have our mindset, right? We prepare, and then we anticipate. It's like we've done the work, right? We're in our right mindset. We're at our screens. We're looking at the markets. what goes through our mind during that phase. And to me, I keep thinking about the things I did in preparation. So my anticipation is in line with my mindset and my preparation. Long-term charts, short-term charts, I talked about this. If, just an easy example that I do, is if the long-term chart, let's just say support in the S&P, hits and holds, and short-term, I look at it and I see through the overnight they were hitting support, bell rings, we're holding support, and I see that we're hitting them and bouncing them. I'm anticipating that I'm going to be trading a little bit more aggressively on the long side. So I'm going to be in at those areas quicker. I'm going to be more aggressive with those areas, and I'm going to be less aggressive with shorts. Similar to what I said with preparation. It's thinking about that. It's confirming what I saw or did in my preparation. And also, that's why I put confirmations here and reactions, because those are the things that, to me, I'll take more advantage of the day. So if I see these things working, and maybe I'll even look at NASDAQ or Russell or Dow, and I'll be like, look at all of these things are doing the same thing that the S&P is doing, and it's confirming what I'm seeing on the longer term. So I want to be more aggressive on this side. I want to be less aggressive on the other side. And it once again goes back to environment. I love days where the indices are all working together. You don't have a weak Russell and a strong S&P, or a strong NASDAQ and a weak Dow, and you have all of these different things as an S&P trader. I like to see everybody nearing daily support at the same time, or holding short-term support at the same time, and having those reactions together. Why do I like that? Because to me, that's when you get the more powerful moves. You see NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, S&P all holding daily support, intraday support at the same time, and then boom, they go. I know to hold those trades a little bit longer, right? And I also know not to fade against those moves. So even if I don't catch a good long, I'm not going to get caught going against it the other way, because I know everything is going in that direction. Extremely important. Like I said, anticipation, mindset, preparation, anticipation. Last thing is execution. How many times have you guys heard me say this on Twitter? If you don't follow me on Twitter, I say this all the time. I've been saying this for years. Execution is the most important part of any strategy. If you have a strategy that's so good, then just automate it. If you're a discretionary trader like myself, execution is everything to us, because like of all the things I just said, in the right mindset, I'm preparing, I'm anticipating. I'm going to try and get more out of my strategy than what my strategy is giving me, right? That's why I don't automate my strategy, because my strategy is built on my execution. Well, it's built on, I don't mean it's built on it. It's built on these rules and everything that I put together for my strategy. But the execution, the way I execute it, is how I get the most out of it. And sometimes I don't, but that's something that I use. It's within my strategy. So execution is extremely important. And I know that if I did my preparation the right way, I anticipate the right way, it's suiting the environment that I'm seeing. It's suiting the environment that I want. Then I take advantage of the market during those times, because I've had success doing it. Now you've got to build this up and get used to your strategy and see what environments work and what environments don't work. You know, like I talked about, Thursday's another example. Last week, I thought middle of the week to the end of the week was tough, because I had a bigger picture stuff that was going on. I looked at the charts. I had some confirmations, but boy, I tell you what, intraday was not reacting well to my stuff. So a lot of days I was just watching, because I was not getting confirmations. The environment wasn't what I like to see on my short-term charts. I was not seeing everything work together. And if I didn't stop on some of those days, I would have lost a lot more money. Like I said, Thursday was a rough day for me. The other 2 days, I basically broke even. You know, and I look back at it and go, if I would have taken a lot of those setups, I would have had a much worse 3 days. But I didn't, because I understood the environment. It started with going back to the flow of trading, mindset, preparation, anticipation, and execution. And then it goes back to that. So the flow of trading to me is so important. I think it's something that you have to think of beyond your macro and technical analysis, because for me, at least, like I said, this is something that got me over the hump. And it gives me the confidence in myself and everything that I'm doing, because this is, like I said, I'm a discretionary trader who uses my strategy, and I need this flow of trading mindset, preparation, anticipation, and execution in my strategy in order for me to have success as a trader. So That's it for today. I say this all the time in a lot of my videos and a lot of the webinars or presentations that I do. Don't try to move the dial from 1 to 10. You know, move it from 1 to 2. You've got time. I think that as short-term traders, we always think that we don't have time. We need to make money today. But when I started thinking longer term and started implementing changes in my strategy, in my life, and my process and things, and tried to build my entire process in life and in my trading, when I thought big picture, I started to get better results in the short term. So that's just my way of thinking. Once again, I wish all of you well during the lockdown time, you and your families health and safety during this crazy time. And who knows how long this goes on. So I'm going to continue to do videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like. Also follow me on Twitter, and be sure to check out futuresradioshow.com is where my podcast is, and also anthonycrudele.com. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day.